space friend, did you see it yet? We finally found a new planet. I've been checking it out and it seems compatible with our biology and it looks pretty barren. So Space Dog and I are going to go camp out on it for a night. Since it looks to be just lots of dirt and rock and no civilizations, we're going to need a camping light. So today we're going to make one using an LED and a push button module. I'm using these modules instead of an individual LED and push button because this button is just a lot more fun to me. And this LED module is a lot brighter than the individual LEDs we've been using. We need the modules, a breadboard, and 7 jumper wires, 6 of them male to female. Connect the ground pins on both modules to a ground pin on the Arduino and the VCC pins to the positive sign on the power rail. Connect the S pin on the LED to 10 and the buttons S pin to 8. Then connect a jumper wire from the positive sign on the power rail to 5V. First we're setting our pin variables plus 1 for light mode. Light mode is a variable that we'll use to switch between brightness states. In the setup, we're setting the LED as an output and the button pin as an input so that when we press the button, we'll be writing a low value to it. In the loop, we're reading in the state of the push button, and if it is pressed, then light mode will be light mode plus 1, so 1 plus 1. If light mode is equal to 5, then light mode will equal 1. But we'll come back to that because it'll make more sense when we go through the rest of these if statements. Next, if light mode is 1, then the LED will be off. If it's 2, we'll write the value of 64 to it, which is dim. If it's 3, we'll write 128, which is medium brightness. Otherwise, we'll write 255, which is the max brightness. We're using 128 because it's half of 255 and 64 is half of 128, so we're just doubling our values every time to go up one level of brightness. After all that, delay is just delaying the amount of time that the LED takes to go between brightness states, so 250 milliseconds. Now let's go back to light mode. On the first iteration of this loop, light mode starts at a value of 1. Then when we press the button, light mode increases by 1, so it's now 2. That skips us down to the first if-else statement, where if light mode is 2, then we write the dim brightness of 64 to it. If we press the button again, then light mode is now 3, so we write the medium value of 128 to the LED. If we press the button again to increase it by 1, light mode is now 4. But we don't have any if statement telling us what to do if light mode is exactly 4, so then the else statement is going to execute, writing that maximum brightness of 255 to the LED. If we press the button again, that takes us back to the beginning of the loop. Light mode is 5, so it's equal to 1, so we start all over and the LED is turned off. To make this work like an actual camping light instead of just some components hanging around, I'm going to use an external power supply and a piece of paper to wrap around the LED because I'm really cheap. If you're cooler than me, you could 3D print something or do something else creative to make it look better. For me though, a piece of paper is going to work fine.
It's me and Space Dog are here on this barren planet, ready to use our camping light for the night. Right, Space Dog?
So I'm in my tent, my camping light is inside this little box. Let's turn it on. Great, now I'm not scared of all the local megafauna probably out there at all.